Howdy, howdy. Um, Welcome back. It is the 26th of March. It is a Tuesday. It is 1 minute past 5. I am still here in Brisbane. I was just about to say Townsville, but no, I am still here in Brisbane. I've got a couple more days here. Um, a couple more days here. Seeing my family and friends, and yep. And I'll be heading back this weekend. Um, Today I'm just gonna read out a poem, um, only because I felt very unproductive today. I was supposed to go to a first aid um, training course, and my dumb ass didn't. You were supposed to do a quiz, fuck, and like prior to going, and I didn't do it. Um, as I was about to head off to the training course, I got the email that I hadn't completed it, and I wasn't. I guess like you had to. It was a prerequisite to complete that quiz. Started the quiz and realized there was 164 questions. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna have to resit the course, and I'm gonna do it this Saturday. But that's what happens when you are not prepared. I should have been more attentive to the email that they sent 2 weeks ago. One little line, but it was in the email, said you had to complete the quiz prior to attending, and I completely looked over it. Um, Gave them a call this morning, thought that it would be something I could do at the center. They said, no, buddy, it doesn't work like that. You have to read your emails. And I was like, yep, you fucking right. I should have read it um, carefully. So tomorrow and Thursday, I have my forklift license training and assessment, and it should be good to go. I've got everything prepared. I've done the quiz for that. That also has an enrollment quiz that I had to do, and thank God I looked through the little checklist and I was able to tick off the quiz and enroll or confirm my enrollment. So, kind of set me back a bit, but the the poem that I wanted to read today is about preparation. But as I read it, like I looked up a poem about preparation, but I stumbled upon another one called Equipment, and it's by Edgar A. Guest. And if you have been following me, I have talked about this poet before, and I looked him up on my history of the different poems that I've read out, and he is, I think, day 41. Keep going. One of my, I think one of my favorite poems, because the poet's name stood out to me as soon as I stumbled across this one. Equipment. And for those who haven't watched day 41, I'll just read out a brief little history of him. So Edgar A. Guest was born in 1881 in England, but his family moved to United States when he was 10. It is believed that he wrote more than 1,000 poems. Guest wrote about his family, work, children, and God. In this poem that I'm about to read, called Equipment, he shows that each person has the ability to do amazing things, but we must each work hard to get where we want to be. We must look within ourselves to find strength and courage needed to do great things with what God has given us. This is a poem about encouragement and motivation. Within each stanza are sets of rhyming couplets. I think that was supposed to be some educational, that little last line was supposed to be some educational thing about poems, but this poem is about equipment, and here it goes by Edgar A. Guest. Figure it out for yourself, my lad. You've all that the greatest of men have had: 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and a brain to use if you would be wise. With this equipment, they all began. So start for the top and say I can. Look them over, the wise, the great, and they take their food from a common plate. And similar knives and forks they use, with a similar laces they tie their shoes. The world considers them brave and smart, but you've all had when they made their start. You can triumph and come to skill. You can be great if only you will. You're well equipped for what fight you choose. You have legs and arms and a brain to use. And the man who has risen, great deeds to do, began his life with no more than you. You are the handicap you must face. You are the one who must choose your place. You must say where you want to go, how much you will study the truth to know. God has equipped you for life, but He lets you decide what you want to be. Courage must come from the soul within. The man must furnish the will to win. So figure it out for yourself, my lad. You were born with all the great have had. You were born with all that the great have had. With your equipment, they all began. Get hold of yourself and say, I can. Equipment by Edgar A. Guest. It's pretty good. A lot of dimes in that one. But it almost, and I think with all my videos, even yesterday's video with the reaching the milestone of 100 days sober, it always comes back to accountability. It always comes back to that one principle of you are in control of your being, how you feel, the relationships in your life, the career paths you choose. It is so easy to blame everything else and play a victim in a lot of scenarios that happen in life. I don't know where it stems from. I think it's just a comfort of pushing the blame onto someone else. It's so easy to do, and when you see a lot of successful people, or you one of the things I admire the most about hardworking people, and a lot of people in my life, is the grit that they have, and it all comes from accountability. It all stems from within. You know what I mean? And I admire it a lot. And one thing I got from this poem, even just reading it out again, because I usually read the poem once over, and then I'll kind of read it out into the video and reflect on the go. I don't actually think too much about it. The one that stood, like the lines that stood out the most to me were 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and a brain to use if you would be wise. With this equipment, they all began. So start for the top and say I can. You have everything to be great. You have everything to be successful. And it's all you. You know what I mean? It's all about you. And yeah, it just taps off with accountability again. And I don't know, it's a nice reflecting poem, because today with that first aid course, I should have read that I should have read that email over the weekend a week ago and done that quiz. Regardless of how many questions there are, I had more than enough time to do it. That I couldn't blame anybody else. I had to pay a rescheduling fee. It wasn't much, but still, I should have that certificate this afternoon. I should have had it this afternoon, but because of the lack of preparation, that's the outcome. And look, I've been able to reschedule the first aid course, but a good lesson to learn, to be more attentive, to be more thorough, to be more accountable. And yeah, good poem as well. I quite like it. It's a bit longer than the ones I usually choose, but this guy's pretty good. I think I might do some reading tonight about him. A guest. Um, he, yeah, look, I mean, he's written over 11,000 poems, so obviously, I mean, I'm reading them now, and he was born in 1888. Um, very relatable. Very relatable. Yeah, look, I'll finish it up here. Cheers to the people that are tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Deuces.